Welcome to class 8 chemistry, remedial class 23rd of July 2021, class 8. Okay, I hope sufficient boys are there in this class right now. Now, in your previous class with Mr. Abhinav,
There are 60.
there are 60 students, okay, in today's class. So, on your screen, you can see some equations. There are 20 equations which were given to you for your homework, which were given to you.
Sir, I can see.
You can see.
Yes,
Sir, I can see only sir remedial class 23rd July.
Okay, no, your page.
Yes, sir. Now we can
Yes,
see.
sir, now we can see.
Now you can see because it takes time. You know, internet. No, your connectivity is not so good. That's why it will take some time to see the page, which is there on your screen. Okay, it is written over there. Balancing.
Yes, sir, it's very bad.
Balancing equations worksheet, isn't it? You can see over there. It is written over there. What? Balancing equations worksheet. Can you see?
So
Balancing
equation.
So
worksheet, please,
yes, very good. Now you can see over there the first one, sodium phosphate plus, it is 3 potassium hydroxide, 3 sodium hydroxide. Okay, that balance this equation. If you look at the second one, magnesium fluoride plus lithium carbonate, it is giving magnesium carbonate and twice LiF. Look at the third one, you will have P4 phosphorus plus 3 times oxygen. How many times? 3 times oxygen. Phosphorus plus, you should get, write down over there if you just check your answers. Okay, it is 3 times oxygen will give you 2 times phosphorus pentoxide. Then the equation is balanced. Then the fourth one, it is twice 2 times rubidium nitrate.
Sir, already get the answer.
All of you got the answer? Yes?
Sir, for those who have done the...
Sir, who solved and... Yes, sir, who solved and sent to Mr. Abhinav, he sent the answers.
So you can... answers already sent. That's very good. You've got the answers, no? Okay, very good. Then, so I will not repeat the answers anymore. Okay, these are the equations for those who can't see. This is not balanced. These equations are not balanced. Okay, so you can refer your equation from here. That is slide number 14. Then slide number 15. Number 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Slide number 16. It is 9, 10, 11, 12, 17. It is 13, 14, 15 and 16 and 18 is 17, 18, 19 and 20. So these were the equations you are supposed to balance. Okay. The solutions of these equations I am giving today finally. Okay. Balancing equation worksheet. All the equations over here are balanced. It is already balanced. Okay. So those who tried and could not get, you can check your answers, verify answers from here. Am I clear? Okay. Now today, today let us move to something interesting. Okay. After the balancing equations, I will give a set of balancing equations at the end of the class from my side for you all to balance. Okay. So look at your screen very carefully. Over there, you will see there is a question mark. There is a question mark. It is written over there. What is electropositivity and what is electronegativity? Now, first I'll explain it and then I will, first I'll read it out and then I'll explain exactly what is the meaning of electropositivity. Now it is a tendency of an atom to donate electrons. Electropositivity. If there's an atom of sodium, if there is an atom of say potassium or an atom of magnesium, if you look at an atom of sodium, sodium has 11 electrons, potassium has 19 electrons, magnesium has 12 electrons in their valence shell. Now, sodium, its electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 1. Potassium, its electronic configuration is 2, 8, 8 and 1. Magnesium electronic configuration is 2, 8 and 2. If you look at aluminium, one more, aluminium has 13 electrons. So, the electronic configuration of aluminium is 2, 8 and 3. Now, have a look at this valence shell. Valence shell means outermost shell. Sodium has how many electrons in the outermost shell? How many electrons?
So 1.
Potassium
one.
also has 1.
So it will donate.
Magnesium also 1.
Yes, sir.
Magnesium 2.
Sir,
Aluminum has?
no, sir, 2. Yes,
Magnesium is 2.
3.
Aluminum is 3. Now today, my dear students
Yes,
of class 8, okay, please put in your mind this fact. Elements having 1 or 2 or 3 electrons
Yes, sir.
in their valence shell.
Valence shell.
In their valence shell are metallic in nature. Are what? Metallic in
Yes,
nature.
Metallic in nature.
Are you getting this line? Elements having 1 or 2 or 3
Yes, sir.
electrons in their valence shell are metallic in nature. This you put in your mind just now only. Okay. Now since these are
Yes, sir.
elements having 1 or 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell, they will
Sir, donate.
donate electrons. They will donate electrons. They will
Sir,
donate
electron.
electrons. They will donate electrons. Thus,
Yes, sir.
after donating electrons, they become electropositive. They become what? Electropositive.
Yes, sir.
So, did you understand the meaning
Electropositive.
of electropositive now? Did you understand the meaning of
Yes, sir.
electropositive
Yes,
now?
So
sir.
easy, sir.
It is very, very easy.
Yes, sir.
It is very, very easy,
Yes,
isn't it?
sir.
So, all metals are what?
Yes, sir.
Are they electropositive or electronegative? Metals.
So electropositive in nature.
Yes.
Electropositive.
Why are metals electropositive? The question can be asked. Why are
So
metals?
because they have the tendency to donate electrons.
How do they have the tendency to donate electrons? How? Because of what?
So because sir, in the valence shell there are 1, 2, or 3 electrons.
Yes, very good. Because in their valence shell they have either 1 or 2 or 3 electrons, and they are capable of easily losing or easily donating these 1 or 2 or 3 electrons from their valence shell. So it is clear to all of you now. So metals
Yes, sir.
exhibit electropositivity. Metals exhibit what? Electropositivity. Am I clear with this? Now,
Yes, sir.
now let us look
Yes,
at
sir.
electronegativity. Electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to gain electrons, to accept electrons. Am I clear, my dear boys? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, so here electronegativity means it is the measure of the tendency of an atom to gain electrons, and they form negatively charged anions. But metals form what? Cations. Metals form what? Cations. Now, let me explain this in the next slide. In the next slide, okay? I'll be showing you this on the next slide. Watch very, very carefully, okay? Now, if I take example of some non-metals, let us take some non-metals. Say, one is carbon. Carbon, atomic number of carbon is 6. Atomic number of carbon is 6. Atomic number of carbon is what? It is 6.
To write in copy.
Do not write, just pay attention. Just now, no writing. Put your pens down. Just listen only and watch carefully with your eyes wide open and your ears sharp. Okay. Carbon atomic number is 6. Another element I will write over here. Nitrogen atomic number is 7. Oxygen atomic number is 8. Then we can have chlorine atomic number is 17. Now these are the atomic numbers of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, chlorine. Now let us write down the electronic configuration of these elements one by one. Okay, So if I write down
Yes,
the
sir.
electronic configuration
So
of carbon,
2 and 4,
it becomes 2 comma 4.
2 and 4.
2 comma 4. Nitrogen is 2 comma
Yes, sir.
5.
So 2,
2 comma 5.
5.
Oxygen is 2 comma 6.
Yes, sir.
Chlorine is
6,
chlorine is
2,
2 comma 8
comma
comma
7.
7. Now, after you write down the
Yes, sir.
electronic configuration, look at the valence shell. Carbon has 4 electrons in its valence shell. Nitrogen has 5 electrons
sir.
in its valence shell. Oxygen has 6 electrons in its valence
Yes,
shell. Chlorine has 7 electrons in its valence shell. So now put this in your mind. Elements
Yes, sir.
elements having 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 electrons in their valence shell are non-metallic in nature. Thus they will readily accept electrons in their valence shell.
So valence shell.
In their valence shell.
Yes, sir.
They will receive electrons where? In their valence shell. That is why, my dear boys, carbon, it will receive how many electrons? If I give it 4 electrons, it will acquire
So
what?
4.
It will acquire an octet after receiving 4 electrons.
So
no?
4.
So its valence is -4.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it? It is a non-metal. It can receive how many electrons to
Yes,
become
sir.
an octet? It receives 4 electrons to become an octet.
So 4.
To become an octet. Octet means to have 8 electrons after receiving electrons. Okay, now if you look at nitrogen atom, if you give nitrogen atom 3 electrons, because it has 5 electrons, no? So if you give
Yes, sir.
3 electrons to nitrogen,
Yes,
it
sir.
becomes octet. So nitrogen becomes N minus 3.
Yes,
It
sir.
becomes N minus 3. Okay, to become an octet. So nitrogen, carbon is carrying a negative charge. Nitrogen is also carrying a negative charge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you getting it? After that, if you look at oxygen has 6 electrons
sir.
in its valence shell. So oxygen, in order to become an octet,
So sir, it will take 2.
it will take 2 electrons. It will take 2 electrons. It
So
will
2
take how many
electrons.
electrons? 2 electrons. So I'll put over here plus 2 electrons. So oxygen, after gaining 2 electrons, becomes O minus 2 to become an octet. Similarly over here, there is chlorine. Chlorine has 7 electrons in its valence shell. It needs only 1 electron. So if I give 1 electron to chlorine, it becomes Cl minus 1 to become an octet. Now, after receiving electrons, they carry negative charge. That is why they are called what? They are called anions. What are they called? They are called anions. That is why I told you that time, non-metals show electronegativity. Non-metals show what? Electronegativity. Non-metals show what? Electronegativity. Am I clear?
Electronegativity.
So metals show
Sure.
what? Metals show what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Metals show what?
Electronegativity.
Metals show what?
Sir, electropositivity.
Electropositivity. Non-metals show electronegativity. Am I clear with this, my dear students? Yes, am I
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
Now you must keep these things in your mind properly. Metals, they are elements having 1 or 2 or 3 electrons in their valence shell. Whereas Non-metals are elements having 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 electrons in their valence shell. And that's why non-metals, they can accept electrons and exhibit electronegativity. Whereas metals, they can lose electrons from their valence shell and exhibit electropositivity. Am I clear with this? Am I clear, my dear boys?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let us
Sir.
move.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Let us move to the next slide now. On your screen, you can see over there is a question. What is variable valency? It's a very wonderful thing.
Yes,
You'll understand today. What is variable? Variable means more than one. Okay. You can eat one apple. You can eat few apples. You can eat 10 apples. You can have one mango. You can eat two mangoes. So variable, no? Now, here also valency, the combining capacity of some elements is more than one. Sometimes, because of different conditions under which a chemical reaction takes place, the valency of the element changes. Thus, metals like lead, lead, I'm writing the symbol, metals like lead or tin or copper or mercury or iron, they exhibit more than one
yes,
valency.
sir.
Like lead, it can combine in two different ways by exhibiting a valency of either +2 or +4. That is the two valencies of lead. Similarly, tin also +2 or +4. Copper, it is +1
Four.
or +2. Okay. Mercury
Yes.
+1 or +2. Iron, it is +2 +3. So these are variable valencies having more than one combining capacity. If you look at the formula over here for water, look at the formula for water. This oxygen atom, it has combined with how many hydrogen? How many hydrogen?
Sir, two.
2. So the valency of oxygen is
Sir,
2.
Two.
Valency of oxygen is 2. Okay, it is valency is 2. And these hydrogens, each hydrogen has combined with how many oxygen? Each hydrogen has
So
combined with
one.
oxygen. 1. So the valency of
sir, one.
each hydrogen is 1. So over here we have to write +1. Over here we have to write +1. Am I clear? Okay. Now I
Yes,
am
sir.
giving
Yes,
some
sir.
time.
Yes, sir.
Read through this valency in your mind. I'm giving you 2 minutes and I'll join you in 2 minutes. Okay.
Yes, sir. Mute your mic, boys.
What is variable values?
So now it is clear to all of you regarding variable valency.
Yes, sir.
Anybody has got any question? No question. Okay. Now let us look at the next paragraph over here. Metals donate electrons from their valence shell so as to form positively charged ions. Yes. Any question? Anybody got any question?
No, sir.
No question. Okay. So metals, they donate electrons from the valence shell so as to form positively charged ions. However, some metals lose electrons from the shell next to the valence shell also. In such a situation, the elements exhibit more than one electropositive valency. Such elements are said to have variable valency. So examples I have given you plenty over here. Okay, remember this. Now let us move to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Covalency and electrovalency. Another question. What is covalency? What is electrovalency? This is one word which you have come across in the previous chapter. Okay. Now I'm telling you the difference. Covalency. Covalency means mutual sharing of electrons. Simple language. Mutual sharing of electrons. Okay. And electrovalency means complete transfer of electrons. Complete transfer of electrons. Complete transfer of electrons. Okay, so this you keep in your mind. Covalency means mutual sharing of electrons. Now this mutual sharing of electrons, it is possible between two non-metals. Non-metal and another non-metal.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Whereas
in
this,
covalency, they will share, no, sir?
they will share. So covalency, there is mutual sharing of electrons between a non-metal, another non-metal. But in electrovalency, there is complete transfer of electrons between a metal, from a metal to a non-metal. So I think this is also clear to all of you. Please keep this stored in your mind.
sir.
Okay, now
Yes,
now
sir.
let us come
Yes,
to
sir.
the actual definition. Electrovalency is the number of electrons that an atom either gains or loses in forming an ion. Whereas covalency is the number of electrons that an atom can share with another atom. Okay, so the word over here is share. Share over here. Over here, either gains or loses. That you keep in mind. Okay. Now, anybody got any question, my dear boys? Anybody got any question? Okay, no question. So let's move further. Now let us see in chemistry something about radical. A radical is a group of atoms of different elements combined together and they carry a common charge. That is the simple definition which I have just spoken. A radical is a group of atoms of different elements combined together and they carry a charge. This is sufficient to explain radical. Okay. Now in chemistry, a radical is an atom or molecule or ion that has unpaired valence electron. With some exception, these unpaired electrons make radicals highly chemically reactive. So radicals, please keep in your mind, they are highly reactive chemical species. They react with high speed. Okay, they are very reactive. Now, coming to some examples. Examples of some radicals. NO3 minus 1. It is nitrate. It is nitrate radical. Nitrate radical. You can have sulfate. SO4 minus 2. This is the other example of radical. It is called sulfate radical. Radical. Okay, radical. Cl. Then we can have some more examples are there. NH4 plus 1. Ammonium. Ammonium radical. So like this I can write down plenty of other examples also, but I think the idea is clear. The main purpose over here is to make your idea clear about radicals. A radical consists of more than one atom, more than one or two atoms combined together, and they must carry a charge. More than one atoms or two atoms combined together and they must carry a charge. It must be carrying a charge, making it very reactive. Okay. Now, the radical concept is clear to all of you. So, I move to the next slide. So, if I represent some radicals, you can see on the screen, there are some very good example of radicals which you will be coming across in the study of chemistry in class 8, class 9 and class 10. First one is ammonium plus 1 valency. Nitrate NO3 minus 1. Nitrite NO2 minus 1. Bisulfate HSO4 minus 1. Bisulfite HSO3 minus 1. Bicarbonate HCO3 minus 1. Hydroxide OH minus 1. Okay. Acetate CH3CO minus 1. Sulfate SO4 minus 2 over valency. Sulfite SO3 minus 2. Carbonate CO3 minus 2. Dichromate, please learn this properly. Cr2O7 minus 2, valency minus 2. And phosphate PO4 minus 3 valency. Over here, correction, it is 3. Okay, corrected. Okay, so
Yes,
these
sir.
are examples
Sir.
or representation of some radicals which you are going to learn. I want all of you to please remember, memorize
Yes,
this
sir.
chart, representation of some radicals, because without knowing the symbol and the formula of the radicals and the representation and learning the valency, you will not be able to proceed further in the learning of chemistry. The learning of chemistry will become difficult if you don't know the symbols of basic radicals or acid radicals or cations or anions. Okay, so that makes it very, very important. Now, moving to the next slide, just for the sake of information, I want to give you some common names, the chemical names and the chemical formula for some important compounds in chemistry. The first one, if you look at the formula, it is carbon dioxide. It is solid carbon dioxide. It is called dry ice. Nickname is dry ice. Then there is calcium hydroxide, slake lime. Bleaching powder, calcium oxychloride. Then ammonium chloride, it is called nausadar, smelling salt. Caustic soda, sodium hydroxide. Rock salt, sodium chloride. Potassium hydroxide, caustic potash. Potash alum, potassium aluminum sulfate. You know Pitcairn? Pitcairn. You know what is Pitcairn?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
This is the salt.
Yes, sir.
This is the salt which is called Pitcairn. Now, where do you use Pitcairn?
Sir, when we got a
dirty water.
When you want to,
barber shop has.
yeah,
Sorry,
if you go to the barber shop after shaving, no,
So when our water gets dirty,
yeah, that time you can apply
Yes,
alum.
sir.
You can apply potash alum to stop the flowing of blood. What do you call? Prevent the flowing of blood or loss of blood from the point of the cut. Okay. Then there is Epsom salt, magnesium sulfate, quicklime, calcium oxide, plaster of Paris formula is here.
Purifies the water also.
Yes, it not purifies the water, it helps in the sedimentation of the impure particles which are present in water. It allows them to settle down and the water above becomes clear and it can be decanted and collected in another container by using this potash alum. Okay, so calcium sulfate is gypsum. There is green vitriol, ferrous sulfate, more salt, ferrous ammonium sulfate, blue vitriol, copper sulfate, white vitriol, zinc sulfate, marsh gas, methane, vinegar is acetic acid, potash S is potassium carbonate, hypo, sodium thiosulfate, baking powder. Now you know what is baking powder formula? Sodium bicarbonate.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
there is washing soda also, sodium carbonate decahydrate. Magnesia, milk of magnesia, magnesium oxide, magnesia. Then there is chalk, the chalk which we used to write in the school. Its chemical composition is CaCO3. It is made of calcium, carbon and oxygen combined in a fixed proportion by weight. So these are some names, common names, chemical names and the chemical formula which I want you all to learn, okay, without fooling around at home over there. You must give time to chemistry, then chemistry will start loving you slowly. Okay, now moving to the next slide, I want to show you a simple experiment over here with the help of a diagram
Yes, sir.
which is called law of conservation of mass. A simple experiment to demonstrate the law of conservation of mass. In this first diagram, if you see carefully, there is copper sulfate solution which is blue in color, and in the test tube over here I have placed sodium hydroxide solution. I have just placed over here without allowing it to drop. Okay, now the weight of this copper sulfate and sodium hydroxide is taken. It is found to be 67.25 before the reaction. The weight of this reactants, the entire container, it is taken, it is found to be 67.25 grams before the reaction. Now it is mixed thoroughly. This test tube is allowed to fall in this solution, in the copper sulfate solution, and the reaction happens. After the reaction is complete, the weight is taken again. It is found to be 67.25 gram again after the reaction is complete. So this is proving that in a chemical reaction, the total mass of the reactants. The total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the products. That is the law of conservation of mass. So this statement you have already learned in class. What do you call in class in this chapter? Okay. Yes, somebody is having.
Can you explain once more?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir. Sorry
Oh,
about your
Can
voice.
you
Yes,
explain
sir.
once more?
Yes,
Your
sir.
voice was breaking.
my voice was breaking.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Sometime.
Okay, I'll explain it once more. Okay. Public demand. Okay, now let us see. In this experiment, the weight of sodium hydroxide solution and copper sulfate solution was taken before reacting them. Okay, it was 67.25 gram. Now these reactants were mixed in the second case over here, and then they are allowed to react. Once the reaction was complete, the weight of the reaction was taken. It was found 67.25 grams. Okay, the container containing copper hydroxide, copper sulfate, and this what you call sodium hydroxide. After reaction, they form sodium sulfate and copper hydroxide precipitate. Okay, so it was found to be 67.25. So this weight and this weight is same. This weight and this weight is same. The weight of the reactants is equal to weight of the products, which is proving that the law of conservation of mass is true. So this is called law of conservation of mass. Okay. Now,
Conservation of mass.
yes. Now, if I ask you the question, what is law of conservation of mass? How will you define? How will you define? How will you define the law of conservation of mass?
Others, mute the
So
mic.
in law of conservation of mass, the reactions and the products are same.
Not same. The total mass
So
of the
the weight of
reactant
the reactant
Yes.
and the weight of the product
is
is
same.
Same weight.
Yes. The total mass of the reactants is equal to the total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product. This is the law of conservation of mass. Okay, so this statement now you can check it from your textbooks also. Okay, now the next thing I want to give you is your homework for today. Okay, now I am giving you 3 minutes. Take 4 minutes. Copy this in the exercise copy just now. This is your homework for 23rd of July 2021. And once you complete these balancing equations, you can send these in the class 8 ABC chemistry group. Okay, by writing your names.
So
Okay.
only admins can send there.
Oh, you cannot send.
So only admins can
Okay.
send there.
Okay, I will make that
Yes,
group.
sir.
I will
Students
make
can't send.
for today only. I will allow that group where you all can send. Okay, understood? No, understood. So first
Yes,
thing
sir.
is you
Yes,
copy
sir.
this. You copy
Yes,
this just
sir.
now. I am waiting. I am waiting for you all to copy this
Excuse me,
because
sir.
yes, yes. What is the
Sir,
question?
sir, I just don't know how to. Sir, I just don't know how to do that, sir. So where the arrow is pointing, sir, below that.
Below that, this one.
Yes, sir, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all.
Balancing. For example, I'll
Yes,
show
sir.
you
That
one.
one.
I'll show you one. Sodium plus water. Sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. No? Sodium is one atom.
Sir,
Sodium is one atom. Okay. This is how you have to compare.
Yes, sir.
Hydrogen is 2. Hydrogen is 2 plus 1, 3. Oxygen is 1. Oxygen is 1. So over here you can see hydrogen is not balanced. Are you getting it? So we have to balance hydrogen. So
Sir,
if I
yes, sir.
put over here 2, if I put over here 2 in front of sodium hydroxide, sodium has become 2. So I'll put 2 here also. Now oxygen has become 2. So I have to put 2 here also. Now check
Yes,
hydrogen.
sir.
Hydrogen has become 4. So hydrogen is 2 plus 2, that is 4. Now the equation is balanced. Are you getting it? This method of balancing
Yes,
is
sir.
called balancing by heat and trial method. Balancing by what? Heat and trial method. Trial,
Heat method.
heat and
And
trial
trial
method.
method.
Okay.
Heat and trial
So you try
method. Yes,
balancing
sir.
these questions on your own. First copy these questions. If you cannot copy, then I'll be sending this in the WhatsApp group, this PowerPoint in
Sir.
the WhatsApp group. But I'm giving you time. You have time 2 more minutes to copy this
Yes, sir.
question. Okay, do not waste your time. And then I'll
Yes,
come
sir.
back to you after some time.
Sir.
Bye-bye, sir.
Please don't leave the class. I have to take the attendance. I will take the attendance at the end of the class. Don't say bye-bye. Remain over there.
Sir,
boys.
now we can go.
Now wait. What is the hurry?
No, sir, not done, sir.
Okay, now those who have not finished, you copy it from the PowerPoint. Now wait, let me take the attendance first, because attendance is very, very important. You'll realize the importance of the attendance when we start having the offline classes. Okay, that time I'll catch the boys, those who have not attended my classes. Okay, now just wait. Let me take the attendance for today. Okay, now I'm about to take the attendance. Remain hanging over there. There are only 59 students present. Okay, so
Sir, 60.
I'm one of them. I'm the presenter. No? So I have downloaded the attendance list for classes 8, A, B, and C. Only 59 students and one teacher over here. Okay, now you may leave the class. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.